Hello everybody, my name is Scatter. Welcome back to Divine Journey 2. So a little bit of an issue with the laser drill. I put the cyan laser lenses in there to get more corallium, but if you actually go ahead and look at the corallium ore in JEI here, minimum Y is 1. Now I don't know why they did that, because Y does go down to 0, and for example for iridium ore, the minimum Y is for the overworld, the minimum Y is 0. So I don't know why they put it from 0 to 1, maybe just to mess with people like me, but as you can see, I did have to put it up to 1. I left it running overnight, didn't have a single bit of corallium when I woke up, but I've had it running for most of today, and I do have 450-ish of them. I don't have any that come from the Deep Dark. I don't know if it spawns there, but I mean, I have been running that just to get stuff, and I could set it up in like the Abyssal Wasteland or whatever, but I think the laser drill is going to be fine. We're just going to have to wait a little bit more to get exactly enough for this, because we do need, I think, about like 300 more, 317 more. So that's fine. But for right now, let's go ahead and get into Evil Craft. So we need to make the Blood Extractor. So we need 3 of these syringes from RF Tools, which are not super hard to make for us at this point. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I shift clicked it, expecting it to make just 1. Oh, there actually is a quest for the syringes themselves, I assume, because that's what you need to use with the spawner, which is fine. We'll go ahead and grab one of those. Yeah, but we're not going to be using them for that. We're just going to craft them into this here. So we need some hardened signalum glass. We've made some of the hardened glass before. I just taught the machine how to make that, and then I've gone ahead and made the other dread crystal as well. And we have these dark blocks. Are just made with the dark gems, which we get from just ore that spawns in the overworld. So we've had a lot of that for a long time. So let's go ahead with the Blood Extractor. So hold in inventory when slaying mobs, shift right click to extract, or auto supply. Now, other than what the quest book shows here, I have no idea what this blood is for. I've never used Evil Craft before. So I don't know what the deal is going to be. But it looks like it leads into Darkened Apple. Warning, do not eat. Enjoyed by animals about to read a book. Interesting. So I can make this with the dark blocks. And that's fine. Okay. So I don't know if I'll have to autocraft that one just in case. I wouldn't eat this. Maybe feed it to some animal. Well, we'll see what happens when we feed the animals. Maybe that's how you get the book from Snow White. I mean, okay, sure. But then a dark power gem. Place down 5 sources of blood and toss a dark gem into it. It will consume all 5 buckets of blood to produce a single dark power gem. So 5 whole buckets for a dark power gem. I don't know what we're going to be using this for. Maybe some crafting ingredients. Box of eternal closure. Spiky claws. Probably mostly for this blood infusion core. But even then, I don't know what that leads into. But I guess we're going to find out. The blood infuser, I know, is something that's coming up here. Yeah, okay, so I guess let's go kill some mobs. I guess just having this in your inventory when you kill them is going to be enough. So, cool. Okay, let's go find some. And I don't know if they need to be hostile mobs, and I also don't know how much blood we're talking here. Maybe dependent on the health. Looks like that one kill got us about half a bucket. How about this pig? That one kill got us about a quarter of a bucket. Okay, so probably depends on the health of the mob. The best thing would probably be to set up some kind of like spawner. Not 100% sure on that, but it probably won't take too long to fill up the whole syringe here. Now, is there going to be a way to automate this? Almost definitely. Is there a way to automate it right now? Perhaps. Do I need to automate it right now? I doubt it. Might be a good idea anyway. I don't know. For the first one, at least, I'll just fill it up manually. It looks like it's going pretty quick anyway. And then we can go ahead and make the first. Did I just watch this chicken lay an egg? That's pretty funny. You don't get to see that every day. Okay, but I'll finish this and I'll fill up the rest of the syringe and then do some crafting with it. All right, the syringe is full of blood. So I guess now I just need to place it down into the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buckets. And then I can throw that in. There we go. So it used it all up, and we get a dark power gem, gleaming red. Very cool. We get 1 blood bucket in return. Not fantastic, but it'll work. And so all of this stuff looks like it needs other things here. So we do need to get into blood magic, I think, before fully getting into it. Now, darkened apple. We only need one for the quest. I don't know how many of these we're going to need. I don't know really what they're for. That's going to be 3 dark blocks. Is it 3 from all of the recipes? Yeah. So 3 dark blocks. 1, 2, 3. And 1 apple. There we go. I still haven't set up oak seeds in here. Maybe to automate apples. Maybe a good plan. Don't know how necessary it's really going to be. But we'll throw these down in the alloy smelter here. Just while it's not doing anything else. They don't take too long to cook up. And there's our darkened apple. So I shouldn't eat it. And I get a stack of apples and then another darkened apple. And then feed the apple to an animal, let it die, and throw a book onto the resulting particles. This is the guidebook for Evilcraft. Outside of Thaumcraft, this is maybe one of the cooler ways I've seen to generate a book for a mod. It's very neat, I think. But we'll get this book. And I guess we need to go feed this to a mob. And it says let it die. So I guess maybe I should do like a non-hostile mob might be easier. Especially considering they have less health. We'll take you. Is this really a naturally spawning imp? I didn't know they existed. Maybe they won't eat it. Maybe they won't eat it. Will a skeleton eat it? Another imp? Maybe those are just ones that have escaped from my farm. Will you eat this? You won't. Okay. I mean, pigs eat apples, right? That's kind of their whole thing. So maybe finding another pig is going to be the way. Or a cow. Cows will do it. Alright. Oh, my god. Spirit portal? Okay. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but it's going away, so I guess I don't really have to care too much. We get 64 potash apples that are poison, which is fine, I guess. And there we go, Origins of Darkness. So it looks like there's a whole lot to explore here. It integrates with a bunch of other mods, which is cool. Oh, this opens this up on the web. Oh, there's like a online version of this. I can't actually get... Okay, there we go. But yeah, well, I guess without getting into blood magic, that's the furthest we can go in Evilcraft, it seems like. So I am going to have to get into blood magic here. The trouble with that is I still am waiting for the Corallium. So I think I will just cut here and wait for the rest. 465. We're still waiting on approximately 300 of them. So that'll keep coming in there slowly. I mean, I do have the full speed upgrades in here, but actually, I wonder, can you put like multiple speed upgrades in them rather than the energy ones? No, it only takes one of each. So these are going as fast as they possibly can. And it's still kind of slow, but not too slow. I really wish I'd realized that before I went to bed last night. Otherwise, I would be moving swiftly along into blood magic right now. But I will do a cut here, and then we will come back and build our blood magic altar. Alright, it is now several hours later, and I have let the Corallium ore build up a little bit, and I have, of course, crafted it into refined Corallium ingots and refined Corallium blocks. So I have 6 blocks, that's 54 ingots, and as a reminder, each one of those takes 81. Yeah, because it's 9 times 9, 81 Corallium gems or whatever they're called, and then each one of the ore gives you 2. So 6 times 9 times 81 divided by 2. It's a lot. I think it's around 700. That seems to be how many I needed. But anyway, we're good now, and hopefully if I just let this laser drill run, we are going to get as much Corallium as we're going to need in the future. But for now, we have what we need to make the blood altar. So the first thing we need is the demonically gargantuan drum. So we need a couple of climb bottles, which is just kind of a cool thing in general. I can place them down here. I don't know if they have any usage outside of as a little crafting ingredient for this item specifically, but that's okay. I need some demon metal blocks, which is fine. This is just gold thrown in lava. pretty cheap, all things considered. I mean, pretty much anything considered, it's a pretty cheap item just generally. So the Demonically Gargantuan Drum, I believe, holds 65,000. 65,000. What? Buckets? Yes. Not millibuckets, because that would not be very many at all. Holds 65,000 buckets. Yeah, 65536, which is huge. Get a couple of little worthless things there. But we are mainly concerned as a crafting ingredient. And so the other thing we need is some dark stone for this, which we get from darkstone cobblestone, which I guess it spawns in one of the abyssal craft biomes, I assume. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but we can throw some cobblestone into the transmutator to also make it, and we just need to smelt just a few of those up. But other than that, we should have everything we need now to manufacture this. The empowered void crystals I had cooking up earlier, so if we go void, have a few of those. 7, 8 blocks, we only need 7, and there you go. And I believe we need 5 of these, so let's see, darkstone, cobblestone, smelt that up, and that's going to go straight into the ME system. And then I'll just let these last couple finish up. Oh, I feel really stupid now because darkstone apparently is one of the things that actually just spawns in the world. And now that I mention it, now that I think about it rather, this is just what this is. So this is the exact same type of darkstone. For some reason I didn't assume it would spawn naturally, but whatever. It's okay. I made like a stack of extra one. You know what? No, I'll just pull these out because I really don't need that at all. But yeah, here we go with the blood altar. Now that hurts. That's a lot of materials there that went into that, but this is the way forward. We get a nice trophy, we get a nice quest, and we get a nice blood altar. So blood magic is a pretty interesting mod. I have played with it before, and we get a couple of these, which is interesting, but then we get the book from blood magic as well. So it consumes life essence to convert items. It has multiple tiers, and some recipes are locked behind higher tiers. So we can make the weak blood orb now, and we can make the sacrificial dagger. And I think the sacrificial dagger is the only way in the beginning to generate blood. I may be wrong about that, but I mean, it wants us to make it anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised. But in any case, we're going to make it. And so it does take an Abyssal Knight ingot, which you get from the dreaded chunk of Abyssal Knight, excuse me, which is dropped by dreaded Abyssal Knight golems in the Dreadlands. So I haven't actually seen any of those, but I think I'm going to have to go kill some as soon as I make sure that I have the other stuff that I need here. Okay, I have some of that. I should have some of those. So yeah, I guess it's just the Abyssal Knight. I mean, maybe I could find some of this ore as well. Chunk of Abyssal Knight. Dropped by Abyssal Knight golems. Okay, so either way, just got to find the Abyssal Knight golems. Okay, sounds good. All right, that's 9. And that should be plenty. I had a quick look, and I don't think the Abyssal Knight is used for too much. Crafting-wise, I guess we may need that in the future, but the molten stuff, no. And there's one of the Abyssal Knight seeds, I guess, if I want that. I can't see why I would. But that said, I don't even really know how Abyssal Craft works, so... but yeah, this is not something I see the need to automate right now. I can always go grab one of these for a spawner in the future if the need arises. But as of right now, I assume that it won't. So I'll just get a few and smelt them up for the sac dag. Alright, there's everything I need. Pretty simple craft, all things considered. Just one prick of the finger will suffice. There we go, to gain lose. Makes sense to me. So the other thing we need is a blood orb. So it fills your personal network up to 5,000 life points. So this is kind of the strange thing about the blood altar. Like, it works based on... It's like linked to your player and not linked to any like item or like how much blood is in the machine. There's like... It's something linked to the player, right? And it's a little bit strange. I think I'm going to need another 4 of these, so I'll just go ahead and set this craft off now. Just so it should be done by the time we need it. Yep, that should be fine. I'll make some more steaming like another 4 blocks of that, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so, well, we need somewhere to set up this blood altar. Right now, it doesn't need anything extra associated with it, but later it will. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and place it right here. And that should be enough room, I think, around it for the stuff we're going to have to build. For right now, that's going to be enough. So the weird part about these machines is they have like an internal buffer, but they also have a buffer that you can see. So for example, if I take the Sacrificial Dagger and I do that, it fills up with life essence and then it slowly goes away. But it's not going away. It's actually seeping into the internal buffer that the machine has slowly. So once that buffer fills up, and I can make it fill up here, then the blood should just stay in the pool here, and I can use it as much as I want. So that's pretty good. And as a matter of fact, what I probably should do here is something like this, and I'll put some liquid meat here just so I can stand in it, so that I can just always regenerate some health here without having to go fill up my, liquid meat syringe, even though it still looks to be using that. Whatever. it's not that big of a deal, I guess. So you're still... Okay, it looks like it's full now, so I'll just fill it all the way up to 10,000 just because I can. And that's all nice and ready to be used as soon as we get the stuff to use it. So we get the weak Blood Orb, and we need one of these in order to do it, which is what I just set off the craft for. But then also Hardened Blood Droplet. So using coagulated blood from Tinkers, make a Hardened Blood Droplet. Okay, so this is this, and we may have some of this in the system already, because I definitely remember using it for a couple of things. If not, we're gonna have to go hit up the smeltery again, I think. Blood, we don't have any. Wow. Okay. Coagulated blood. So rotten flesh, right? Yes, rotten flesh in the thing. We could also squeeze the rotten flesh to get it. 5 millibuckets each compared to 40. Even though I do have the rotten flesh for that, I just kind of don't want to wait for it in the squeezer. I also don't have anything to... Well, no, I have a tank there, but it's currently being used for something else. So I'd rather just head back over to the smelter. At this point, like every time I have to come back over here to use it, it gets more and more efficient, more and more the case that I should just build another smelter over at our new base. Can't say it's that new at this point, I guess, but I don't know. It always just feels so not useful, I think I have a timer that I had originally brought over to use for something else, and I didn't end up using it, so I think that's still in the ME system here. If not, I probably won't bother with it, but I believe it is. Nope. Okay. Can I craft it just based on stuff I have here? Not quite. Okay, fine. I'll make one. I know I just said I wouldn't, but people lie. It's the way the world works. Okay. Let's just go ahead and throw this back on here. The annoying part being, of course, that we're no longer somewhere where we can... Wait, are we within the range of that sound muffler all the way over there? I'm actually a little bit surprised that we are. But I can turn the interval way down again. So there we go. So whatever I throw in here, that'll just continue to craft up there. So 6 should be fine for now. And so the way that the blood altar works is you just need the blood, because the blood is like represents LP or something. That should just work with 1,000. Yeah, there we go. And I need an empty hand to get it out. Hardened blood droplet. Now this leads into something, does it not? Yeah, okay. So the rudimentary snare, we're going to need that to get some demonic will. The Hellfire Forge is used for crafting a bunch of stuff, as is the Alchemy Table. Now, one thing I know about the Alchemy Table is that for some reason you need a lot of them. I guess to make, maybe to make those runes, maybe to make that. I know I've heard of people automating alchemy tables and making a lot of them. Probably for the Britannia stuff, because I know you need to... Maybe not, though. I don't know. Well, that's going to be stuff left to find out for us in the future. But for now, this is going to be all we're worried about. Got some coagulated blood drops from Tinkers, which just look to be a, well, they're food, but I think they're also, it has to be an empty hand, huh? That's kind of annoying. Maybe an item upgrade. I'm never going to use it anyway, so doesn't really matter. Still waiting on some Empowerer stuff. They should be running simultaneously though, so it won't be too long before we can continue here. But let's just go ahead and finish up the rest of that and see what we need to move on a little bit. So now we can use this Dark Power Gem to get a Blood Infusion core, right? So light Hardened Blood on fire to get Hardened Blood shards. Wait. Hardened Blood, so that's what we just got. And then you light it on fire and get the shards. Let's try that. Let's try that. Do I still have a flint and steel on me? It's almost depleted, but we do. Let's head over here with it. Toss one of those on the ground. And I've lit it on fire. It has completely disappeared. And I have gotten nothing from it. So I assume it doesn't mean the droplet. Because what I also noticed is when you get a blood extractor, when you put the blood from this into the world, it does harden eventually. Now that's going to take out that torch, which is fine. It's going to take out possibly a couple. Yeah. But it does harden eventually. Some quicker than others. I assume it's just like on a random tick. Because earlier I was having some trouble even getting it all down. Even just 5 buckets. But maybe putting it in a hole would have been a smarter idea. But yeah, it does seem just random for when this hardens up. So I'll just go ahead and let that happen while I finish up making the rest of that. Okay, so there's our Hardened Blood. So this I have to light on fire. Okay, and I get 7 shards from that. This one I got 8. This one I got 5. So it's a little bit random, but that's okay. And so I have 5 of these. I should have 6, but I was a little bit stupid, but that's okay. And then I just need these, the shards, and the gems. Okay. So I just have enough to make 1 right now, which is fine. Gem. So again, something that seems like it's going to be pretty tricky to automate, but we'll see how it ends up going. There's our first Blood Infusion core, which I assume is just a crafting ingredient. And it leads to the Blood Infuser, the fundamental machine in evil craft. It can craft more items and store more blood at higher tiers, which are gained through promises of tenacity. Very interesting stuff. So, right, so we can make a Blook, which absorbs enchantments, which is pretty cool. Blood Brick, Corrupted Tear, Bloody Cobblestone. Lots of stuff here. It's a way to turn rotten flesh into leather, which we have better ways of doing. You can turn an Ender Eye into 8 Spider Eyes, which seems like a completely insane thing to want to do. Bones into Blaze Rods is actually pretty cool. But it looks like these circle things here are the promises of tenacity, which seem to be kind of hard to make. I mean, these reagents, I'm used to seeing stuff like this and being like, oh, that's not till way later, but that's a blood magic thing, so we're actually going to be getting into it pretty soon. But yeah, I'm not sure what kind of stuff this helps us out with. I don't know if we can like make the dark... okay, yeah, we can. So this is going to be the way to automate dark power gems rather than having to place the blood in the world. And it's just 1 blood per, which is great too. So how many do we actually need for that? Just the 1 plus 6 hardened blood droplets. 2 ender infusers, which don't look too bad. 6 of these, and even more steaming Restonia, which is something that I really need to just automate like hundreds of at this point, because it seems like you can never have too much of it. So I'll just go ahead and make like 20 blocks. Right. Okay. So that's pretty cool. Let's just do that right there. And yeah, all right. It's looking good. It's looking good. So I think this is going to be a good place to end this one off. We've just dipped our toes into blood magic, and next time we're going to get even further into it. But for now, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.